Hello, dear students. I am Samir Velankar. I welcome all of you to this first video on the topic Traveling Salesman Problem. Now, the problem is about graph. Let's check what the traveling salesman problem is. We are given a complete graph. You see this word. We are given a complete weighted directed graph. Now, first of all, you know what is weighted directed graph, isn't it? That means every edge will have direction and every edge will have weight. But what do you mean by complete? I hope you know this too. This also. A complete graph is the one in which every vertex has edge to every other vertex. So now you watch this graph which has so many edges because every vertex has an edge to every other vertex. Just as an example, you see that there is an edge from 1 to 2. Observe this. This is a directed edge. And there is an edge from 2 to 1. And this edge is also directed, isn't it? Now, one might wonder that why haven't we shown the edge between 1 to 2 in this fashion? Because if there is an edge from 1 to 2 and there is an edge back from 2 to 1, then what's the sense in showing two edges just as we have shown here with the directions? Because the point is that this is a directed graph, and in a directed graph it is not enough if 1 to 2 edge exists, then 2 to 1 exists, but it exists here, so we have shown it 2 to 1. And the height is that distance between 1 to 2 is 10 and distance between 2 to 1 is 5. So distances to and fro distances may not be same, they might be same also. For example, you notice this edge between 1 to 3. The edge between 1 to 3 is having cost of 9, distance is 9, but 3 to 1, that is back edge 3 to 1 is also having distance of 9. So distances to and fro might be same but may not be same. Just observe this graph has 4 vertices, isn't it? And it's a complete graph. Now remember, if v is 4, the number of vertices are 4, and the graph is complete, that means there is an edge from every vertex to every other vertex, then number of edges in such a graph is given by the formula v into v minus 1 by 2, which is 4 into 3 upon 2, which is 6. So if you count the number of edges over here should be 6, but they appear more than 6. Definitely. But remember, we have to and fro edges in the directed fashion between every pair of vertex. So basically, there are 12 edges in this graph. I hope you are understanding. There are 12 edges. In an undirected graph, the number of edges will be 6. V into V minus 1 by 2. But in a directed graph, it will be double of this 6. So there will be 12 edges in this overall graph. So I hope you have understood what the graph is. It is a complete weighted directed graph. But then isn't it very difficult to draw the graph in this fashion every time as a diagram? Then it is better to represent the graph using a matrix G, which we call it as adjacency matrix G. Now notice G will be 4 rows, 4 columns because there are 4 vertices in our graph. Had it been that there were 100 vertices, then we would have 100 rows and 100 columns. And every element of this particular matrix, for example, you take row 1, column 2, first row, second column, will store distance between vertex 1 and vertex 2. So as you see, distance between vertex 1 and vertex 2 here is 10. So the element is 10. In this fashion, we have filled this matrix. Observe the element 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4, 4 are 0. Diagonal elements are 0 because there is no edge from 1 to 1. Observe. Or there is no edge from 4 to 4. So distance between I to I, vertex I to vertex I has to be 0. Now, isn't this matrix, this adjacency matrix, displaying the graph? It is conveying everything about the graph. Just observe. I mean, if we are not given this picture at all, this messy picture, I should say, this is so confusing to watch. But if somebody gives us a matrix like this, We can conclude everything from the matrix. First of all, we know that the number of vertices are 4. V is 4 because it has 4 rows, 4 columns. Secondly, we know that it is a directed graph. Now, how do you know that it is a directed graph? Because you observe distance between 1 to 2 is not same as distance between 2 to 1. Observe distance between 2 to 1 is 5. Second row, first column is 5. And distance between 1 to 2 is 10. That means between 1 and 2, between 1 and 2, the distance is 10. But if you go from 2 to 1, the distance is 5. So definitely this particular matrix is representing a directed graph, isn't it? Now, one more thing you can conclude from this, that it is a complete graph. How do you know that? It's a complete graph. Only diagonal elements are 0, you watch. But all other elements of the graph of the matrix are non-zero. That means there is some integer weight between every pair of vertex. Isn't it so? So there is an edge between every pair of vertex. Then listen, we just don't need the diagram or the picture. The matrix itself is sufficient to tell us everything about graph. So from now onwards, I will say that this is the graph given to us. The matrix is the graph given to us, which is the adjacency matrix. Okay, now what are we up to? I have not yet introduced traveling salesman problem to you. But what is TSP all about? Now, first of all, let us define a term over here. Okay, the term is tour of the graph. Now, tour of the graph is nothing but a cycle which begins or starts from some vertex. Let's say that vertex is 1. We begin from vertex 1 and then visits all vertices exactly once. And finally, the cycle or the tour ends at the initial vertex. For instance, what do you mean by tour of this graph given here? Let me refer the picture again. Although I said we will not refer the picture, sometimes it is easy for visualizing the things. So what do you mean by the tour? Let's say this is our home. Vertex 1 is our home. And our aim is we want to visit all the places 2, 3, 4 and then come back to home. But we don't want to visit any place more than once. So we will say that we are on a tour. Now, one possible tour you see is you can go from 1 to 2. Yes, there is an edge from 1 to 2. Then you can go from 2 to 3. Yes, possible. There is an edge. From 3, you can go to 4. Yes, of course. And from 4, you can go back to 1. So you tell me, isn't this a tour where the tour started from vertex 1 and tour ended at vertex 1? Start at home and finish the tour at home. But the intermediate vertices visited were 2, 3, 4 and then back to 1. This is one of the tours possible. Now, why I am saying this is one of the tours possible is because you know every vertex is connected to every other vertex, isn't it? So the another way that we can perform this tour is, let's start at 1, our home. And instead of going to vertex 2 first, we will go to vertex 3. What do you say about that? We will go to vertex 3. Yes, there is an edge. So we will go from 1 to 3. From our home, we will go to this third location or third vertex. Let's say from 3 we go to 2. From 3 we go to 2. From 2 we come to 4. Remember, we have to visit every vertex exactly once. And from 4 we will be back home, back to 1. Now you will agree this is also one of the tours where we have started from our home vertex 1 and we have ended with our home vertex 1 and we have visited all the intermediate vertices exactly once, isn't it? So are you agreeing that there are many such tours possible? Now, we will see how many such tours are possible, by the way, beginning with 1 and ending with 1. But here comes the point now. If you are taking this tour, suppose if you are taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, if this is the tour taken, then what is the cost of this tour? Now, cost means sum of all the weights which you visit. Now you watch, the cost of this tour will be cost of 1 to 2, isn't it? What is the cost of 1 to 2? You observe cost of 1 to 2 is 10. So aren't you going to visit distance of 10 when you are going from 1 to 2 plus 2 to 3, isn't it? 2 to 3. Now you watch, 2 to 3 here is 12. Just check this. This is 12. So aren't you going to perform a travel of 12 plus? You see, it's 3 to 4. 3 to 4, as you see in the graph, is 15, this edge. So you are going to travel distance of 15 plus finally 4 to 1. And you watch, 4 to 1 is 5. So the total distance that you will travel if you take this tour will be 10 plus 12, 22 plus 20, which is 42. So the cost of this tour is 42, isn't it? But what if you take the second tour? You watch 13241. I am encircling that. Now 13241 will give you 1 to 3, the cost of 1 to 3. Observe the graph over there on top. I'll just erase a few things. Now 1 to 3 over here, distance between 1 to 3, as you see, is 9. I'll write it here, 9 plus 3 to 2. Observe 3 to 2 in the graph is 10, isn't it? 10. 2 to 4. Now observe 2 to 4 is 6 and 4 to 1 is 5. Now if you add 9, 10, 19, 19 plus 7, isn't it? I hope I am correct. Yes, 10 plus 9, 19. 19 plus 7 will give you the cost of 26, isn't it? Correct? Am I correct? 1 to 3, let me check. 1 to 3 is 9, 3 to 2, 3 to 2 is 10, then 2 to 4, 2 to 4 is 6, and 4 to 1 is 5. So we are going to get the net distance of 26. Then we say this distance 26 is better than 42. So what it means is, instead of taking the tour as 12341, we would like to take the tour as 13241, isn't it? That would be the better tour. I hope you are understanding, isn't it? So the problem here is about finding best tour of the graph, which begins with 1 and ends with 1. You got to find out the best tour of the graph, isn't it? I'm sorry, I missed out the addition here. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I get carried away. The addition of the weights over here is 9 plus 10, that is 19, 19 plus 6, that's 25, and 25 plus 5, that's 31. I'm so sorry. 31. Yeah. But 31 is still better than 42, isn't it? So we will say that it is better to perform the tour as 13241 instead of 12341. I hope you are understanding, isn't it? So what's the big point is, we want to find out such a tour which will be giving us the minimum cost. Now, what I have done below over here to explain, you can just pause the video, and I've given given some working or explanation of what I mean over here. Yeah, the 30 is the cost. I went wrong again. 9 plus 10 plus 6 plus 5 is 30, not 31. I'm so sorry. This 13241 is the tour which is better than 12341, isn't it? Which gives you the cost of 30, but the earlier tour gives you the cost of 42. So you would say it is better to perform the tour as 13241 instead of 12341. But are you sure this 30 is the best cost, is the minimum cost? So how do you solve the problem is, I have solved it first by using brute force method. Now our aim, first of all, don't forget our aim. The aim is to find out such a tour which gives you minimum cost. So we want to find out the tour with minimum cost. This is our aim, isn't it? So one way of solving this, which we will never use, is using brute force method. In brute force method, we don't apply any intelligence, but we try all combinations, all possibilities. Now, what is brute force method is, let us find minimum cost tour of the above graph from vertex 1. So 1 is our home, and we will find out all possible tours. Now you watch these tours. These are the possible tours which all begin with 1 and end with 1. Just check 12341, 12431, 13241, 13421, 14231, and 14321. 6 tours are possible, isn't it? 6 tours are possible for a 4 vertex graph. and I have found out the cost of each of those tours. Now you know how to find out the cost. As an example, the cost of this tour 13241 came out to be 30. We just now saw where I first time went wrong, second time went wrong. I am so sorry. In addition, I went wrong. But the cost of this tour is 30. We have already seen, and the cost of first tour is 42. But you see, in all these six tours, these are the two best tours which will give you least cost, that is 27. So you should tell the salesman that if you want to complete the tour in minimum cost, you should either take the tour 14231 or 14321, because both are going to give you the minimum tours. This problem is really difficult to solve. Trust me, this is very difficult to solve. By the way, I have written the answer over here, is that the minimum cost tour is either this or this, which gives you the cost of 27. But tell me, what will be the time complexity of this method? Believe it, it will be big O of V factorial, where V are the number of vertices. Let me prove it. Now, how many vertices we have? V is 4 vertices, number of vertices. Now you watch, for a 4 vertex graph, we are going to have 6 tours. Just see this. We are going to have 6 tours. How did we get these 6 tours, The first vertex in any tour and the last vertex in any tour was 1. But now we are left out with 3 vertices. Check, every time we are left out with 3 vertices, and these 3 vertices are to be permuted. We just found out the permutation of these 3 vertices. And how many permutations are possible, keeping the first and the last vertex as 1? How many permutations are possible for those 3 vertices? It is exactly 3 factorial permutations are possible. That means the number of possible tours are 3 factorial tours, which is 6 tours. In general, are you observing V minus 1 factorial tours are possible for any given graph of V vertices? Isn't it so? So can you believe it that we are going to check V minus 1 factorial tours? Unbelievable. We are going to check all these tours. We are going to find all their costs. And finally, we will know which one is minimum. That means to find out so many tours, V minus 1 factorial tours, we are going to have V minus 1 factorial order, which can be approximated as V factorial. This is bad. This is really bad. Now, this is not polynomial time algorithm, because we are not getting something like V square or V cube. We are getting V factorial. Can you just imagine, we are given a graph of 1000 vertices. Oh, good Lord. Huge graph of 1000 vertices, and it is a complete graph. V is 1000, and we are asked to find out minimum cost tour. Then total tours, possible tours that we will have is 99 factorial tours are first of all possible. This is a huge number, and we will find cost of all these 99 factorial tours and then select minimum. So it is going to be really, really time consuming using brute force method. I hope you understand how the time complexity has arrived to big O of V factorial. So in the next video, we will see a better solution for traveling salesman problem, which is dynamic method to solve TSP. Thank you very much.